The summer I turned pretty on a ranch is back. Oh, wait, sorry. My Life with the Walter Boys is back with season 2 of the show, and it picked right back up at the end of the summer break, where at the end of season 1 we saw Jackie going back to New York following Alex telling her that he loved her, but her going into the barn and kissing his brother Cole immediately after. Like the previous season, this one had drama all throughout it, and the love triangle between Jackie and the two brothers was ever present. However, alongside that, other relationships such as Skylar and Nathan, Danny and Erin, and also Dylan and Kiley got a key focus too, with an ending that left the fate of George unknown and the bombshell of Alex finding out why it was that Jackie wanted to keep their relationship a secret. Let's dive into the ending of the show and break it down. Here is a review of My Life with the Walter Boys Season 2 and the ending explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The ending explained. When it came to the ending of this show, we saw that everybody was on track to get a happy ending right up until the last minute. Jackie had passed her driving test after originally failing it. Alex was selected by Blake's sponsor for the Bronco riding tour. Cole had passed his SATs, which meant that he could go to the University of Texas. Isaac scored the winning touchdown, and the Walters had found a solution to saving the ranch in a completely different way which didn't jeopardize the heritage. However, right at the end, it all got turned on its head. The true major thing was that George was out in the field all day, but nobody had cottoned onto the fact that there was something wrong with him. An ambulance was the final thing that we saw as the season drew to a close, and I think he'd had a heart attack. I always felt like something was going to go wrong with George in this season. In episode 5, when himself and Catherine went out for dinner, he showed signs of there being an issue, but he blamed it on the Alamo. But to me, I felt like it was a sign that something was wrong. Maybe the stress of the project that he didn't want happening on the ranch, which was going against everything that he believed in, was catching up with him, and it was causing his health to deteriorate. I think that could well be the case. Personally, I think George is going to be dead when the show returns. I say this because there was a heavy focus on the preservation of the ranch and the fact that it had been in the families for so many generations, something that George cared about but Will didn't. And now, I feel like if George did die, then that would be something that Will would understand, and he'd be able to relate to his father's mindset that little bit more. I also think this because there was a focus on Jackie making a point about her not wanting to be treated differently to anybody else in the family because she had lost her parents. So if everybody in the family lost George, then they would then all know what it was like, and Jackie would most likely not get treated differently, even if it was originally done in a subconscious way by Catherine. Outside of the potential death of George, we saw that following everybody being at home and celebrating, Cole went out the front of the house because he wanted to get away from Jackie, and even though Jackie and Alex were together in secret, Cole revealed to her that he was in love with her and that he thought that she was too, hence why he was so hurt when he saw both her and his brother together at Richard's house. In this moment, Jackie responded to Cole and told him that when they kissed at the end of season 1, that was the first time in her life where the world stood still for her. All of the surrounding noise was silenced within her mind, and she was able to feel relaxed, calm, and like she'd lost control. She then followed that speech by telling him that she also loved him too. This moment did shock me because throughout most of this season she was deeply in love with Alex. I'm guessing what Erin said to her about her always thinking that her and Cole would end up together got into her head slightly, and maybe she realized that she was also in love with him. As the both of them were about to kiss each other, Alex's voice appeared in the background on the porch, and he said, "You love him," which showed that he heard everything that she said to Cole. This means that when the next season starts up again, the both of them will most likely not be together. Blake did say to Alex that for a relationship to survive in the Bronco riding world, due to the traveling that the riders have to go on, it has to be as solid as a rock. And with Alex hearing that, he's most likely going to break up with Jackie. Catherine said that it felt like everything was returning to normal, and that's definitely going to shake things on its head. This is also why Jackie didn't want to go public with Alex and why she kept wanting to keep their meetups and their relationship a secret, because she didn't want to hurt Cole's feelings because she knew how much pain he'd be in when hearing that news, and also because she was still in love with him. So it makes me think that she was never going to be honest with Alex. I do also agree with Grace in that she should just pick a boy because she's playing the both of them and dragging them both along. It's literally a Conrad, Jeremiah and Belly situation, but on a ranch instead of by the beach. Two brothers and a girl, and the girl is stuck in between the both of them. Outside of the three main characters, we saw that Kiley ended up kissing Dylan as he went on a journey of self-discovery and was looking to become a better person. However, what I will say is that even though they ended up together, Alex looked on in a jealous way, which to me might show that deep down he does have feelings for her. So with Jackie and him not being together in the next season, we could see that avenue being explored. As well as that, we also had Nathan and Skylar's relationship deteriorating. Nathan outright kissed Zach in front of Skylar at the dance, which did shock me, and when he found out that Zach was just trying to make Skylar jealous because he truly wanted to be with him, Nathan realized that he missed out on being with the person that he actually loved, and he actually told Skylar that he loved him in the finale. But even though Skylar felt the same, he didn't want to be with him because he couldn't trust him, which is totally a valid reason. Then the final relationship which got a focus was Danny and Erin. This was one of my favorite relationships because there wasn't any toxicity in it whatsoever. They were just cautious of the future and the fact that what they were in might not last forever because of the different plans that they had. This was what ultimately killed the relationship for a while because Benny was going off to do acting in New York and Erin wanted to stay in the town and go to community college, meaning that they'd be in two completely different places and might not be able to make the relationship work. However, right at the end, we saw them come to the understanding that they should just worry about the future when they get to it, and instead, just live in the present and enjoy what they've got, because who knows, they might end up changing their minds anyway. My review of the season. At its core, it's a pretty basic show. There's not much to it, and it's a carbon copy of The Summer I Turned Pretty. There's a dead parent, there's a love triangle between two brothers and a girl, and there are other couples that get formed within the friendship group. So it's relatively predictable to see how the drama is just going to continue. However, when comparing this to the first season of the show, I feel like there were some deeper themes that were explored when it came to Jackie finally being able to grieve for her mother. Cole coming to terms with the fact that his life might look a little different after the injury that he got, and also all of the drama with the ranch and the fact that it was losing all of the history that made it what it was. When it came to the performances in the show, I'd probably say that out of the three leads, Alex was probably the worst performed. I found his delivery a bit two-dimensional and quite rigid. Whereas with Cole, it just felt like there was a bit more fluidity in the way that he performed. There was more emotional conviction and I just bought into the character that little bit more. I thought the introduction of all of the other stories in this season made the show feel like it had a bit more purpose than season 1. But the repeated formula does mean that the show is just at a point where it's too predictable. I don't think there was anything in that show that caught me off guard, even George ending up in a critical condition at the end. One thing I would say about My Life with the Walter Boys is that I think the runtime of the episodes could probably be taken down to around 28 minutes. Some were floating around 50 odd minutes, and with it having 10 episodes in the season, I just don't really feel like it needed it. Netflix has started steering away from 10 episode seasons, so it did surprise me. Overall, this show is just a very easy watch. Whilst better than season 1, it's no The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is the frontrunner of this genre, but it looks like it could well be getting a season 3. So, there you have it, a review of My Life with the Walter Boys season 2 and the ending explained.